All right, guys, this is going to be the first video of 2024. So, for today's video, I'd want to go over what to look for before entering any trade. So, let's go to a fresh chart and clear everything, and we can start charting up. All right, we're going to backtest a random day from last year. Let's just go around here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to jump on the daily charts, the daily time frame. So as you can see, the daily time frame, we're just going to use this to figure out the direction of the markets. So let's draw up some simple support and resistance areas. As you can see, this is the most recent support on the daily time frame. And since this is the most recent support and we have our most recent resistance up here, we're safe to say that we're basically stuck in this range until we break above and break below. But since we are scalpers, I'm just gonna jump down to the 4 hour time frame and let's just go forward a bit up until pre-London because that is the time I trade. Got 1 o'clock here, two, three, four, five. Yep, 5 and 6. Okay, great. So now, from the daily time frame, we've already seen that we were bullish, but we failed to close above this resistance. So we could be in a bit of a range. So what I'd like to do now is, since I'm on my hourly time frame, I'd like to see where Asian highs were. Asian highs were here. We have a resistance up here, but I'm going to move my resistance level just to here, just to match it off with these points here and here. And my support, I'm going to put my support at, let's see, we're going to have here as our support that's quite far away. So I'm gonna put my most recent support over here. As you can see, this support was created on the previous day, and we're gonna jump down to the 30-minute time frame. Now that we're on the 30-minute time frame, I'm just gonna adjust my supports just a little bit, just so it makes a bit more sense. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And we are at 6:30, so let's jump down to the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame is looking like this. Okay, so now for me, generally, I wouldn't take a buy unless we get above here. I put my buys above here and sales. Ideally, we could take sales below here. As you can see, there are some clean candles to the left-hand side coming down to here before we start getting a bit messy. So this area here would be our no trade zone, just because it is quite messy. So let's block that off here. We're going to be careful before we come down to here. So our clean range is only about 30 pips. That's more than enough for me to take a trade. Now let's play some of the candles out, see what we are getting. So this is quite a strong bullish candle, but since we are still within Asian highs, I'm not going to enter this trade because there's no real direction. As you can see, we actually closed above, came up to here. Now we are at a strong resistance area. So what I would like to see is a bearish candle and then a bullish candle. So it is what time is that? 7:15. But ideally at London Open, we could see some sort of breakout trade. But let's play the next candle. Okay, so this is considered a breakout. So what you can do in this situation is you could wait for price to come back down before taking a trade. So we could say price is gonna come here, come back here to make support, and then push up. Okay, so what the type of trade? If I was watching this trade live, I'd be pretty okay with missing this trade. I'd have to wait for a pullback before I enter this trade. And I'm gonna wait. There you go. We have our pullback, and we have actually closed back below the range. So now we could see his price to come back down. Oh, so now we've closed bullish here, and that is at pre-London. Oh, sorry, that is at London Open. So if I was to set a buy stop here, I have 10 pip markers there. I put my stops below these candles. So now ideally for us to get into a perfect trade, we'd want a wick down before we push up. But even if we do get executed via bottom wick, that is no issue. We would just manage our trade a lot better. Okay, so it looks like we did get our bottom wick and we did push up. Now we can adjust our SL to the previous 15 minute, or we can leave it where it is. I do like to leave my stop loss where it is just in case we get a wick that pushes below here and then pushes up a liquidity wick. So the next candle we play that. There you go. That's our trade done. That would have been my 10 pips, but the whole total push was about 34 pips. And this was on a Thursday, which is the day where unemployment claims come out for NY session. So typically I don't trade London session on Thursdays because of US news. So the volume can be quite bad. But as you can see in this case, volume was good on this day. So a few things that I would look out for before entering any trade. As you can see, we do have all time frames in confluence with our trade, 30-minute, hourly, and even the 4 hour. I'm sure if we switch to the daily, that would also be bullish. As you can see later on, price actually moves up a lot more. All right, on to the next part of the video. So this is my daily checklist. This will be what I look out for every time before I enter a trade. So let's just break it down a bit. So I've got, is it a breakout or a retest? Now, breakout or retest are my two main setups that I look for every day. So these are my setups I'll be looking for. And if it's not one of those setups, then it's probably not going to be a good trade. And so the next is a higher time frame in your favor. So we want to make sure before we enter every trade, all time frames align with our trade. If I'm taking a buy, I want my 1 hour, 30-minute, 4 hour, and the daily all to be bullish for me to take my buy. Is the lot size okay? So you want to make sure you're not over risking. Is there a wick? So sometimes you can be faked out. If you enter a trade on a candle with no bottom or top wick, it can come back to create those bottom or top wicks and it can push you to your stop loss. The next one is you don't want to take a late entry. Now, this would only come if you have FOMO. If you see price pushing really quickly and it's already pushed about 15 pips, you don't want to enter. You want to wait for that candle to close, and once it closes, you can take a bear entry rather than getting FOMO and entering mid-range of your candle. Also, one trade a day or session. So you don't want to be over trading while you are learning how to become a better trader or fixing your psychology. So it's really important to only take one trade a day per day or session. So this will help you minimize your losses and maximize your wins. Without saying that only if you have a good win rate, which will come through trading with a lot of experience and over time. And you don't want to force trades. Wait for candles to close and don't close early. So the last three, waiting for candle to close means don't manage your risk just because a candle is moving really quickly towards your SL or because it's going against you. You want to wait for the candle to close because from my experience, a lot of times a candle will reverse. It can go in the opposite direction, and in the last few minutes, it will come back in your direction and close in a more favorable way. But if you were to listen to your emotions and panic when you see a bit of drawdown, you would close your trade early, and then later on, once the candle closes and the next candle opens up, you'll see it actually goes and hits your TP. So these are more psychological aspects. But yeah, this is a good little checklist to have before you take any trades. It helps you keep disciplines, helps you take A plus setups, and overall it will help you become a better trader.